there, I'm Stephanie Smith from slsmithassociates.com, coming to you guys today with a new series this week that we want to talk about how to leverage your SAP support team. And your SAP support team can mean a different things to a lot of different organizations. And so what I want to do is try to break down for you in this series how, regardless of what that team looks like, how you can best leverage that team to be able to allow you to work efficiently and effectively. So whether the SAP support team is within your organization or it's an external third party, all of these tips that I give you during this series is going to help you leverage these folks. So this video series, this video today is going to be covering tip number 1. You're going to want to make sure that you follow up on series 2, 3, and 4 to make sure that you get additional tips on working with your SAP team. So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. You're going to want to make sure that you implement these tips right away. So let's start with tip number 1. Tip number 1 is to provide your SAP support team with the most information that you can. And what I mean by this is when you report an issue, when you report a question to that support team, you're going to want to give them as much information as you possibly can. And you do this by giving them screenshots, giving them detail on step-by-step instructions on what were you doing so that they can easily replicate what you were trying to do. And when you give them the ability to replicate what exactly you're trying to do, this leaves the any margin for error, any margin for assumption out of the equation. So they're able to jump to right exactly where you were when you had the problem, when you had the question, and they don't have to make phone calls, send emails, do all of that time-wasting stuff to get you your answer back. So when you provide them the screenshots, the instructions, you give them detail about what the process is, what the scenario is, list it out for them. I know this can be time consuming and painful. However, if you give them all of this information up front, they're able to get to the issue, get to the problem right away. They're able to immediately start working on a resolution or your answer. And then that means you're getting back your answer much more quickly than you would had you not given them any detail. And then what they would have had to do was you would have went back and forth with phone calls, emails, trying to decipher or trying to get them on the same page as you are. So I've seen time and time again in the past where people want to hurry up and just send an email to someone, giving them 1 or 2 sentences that says, this is my problem. Well, when the individual is not in your chair, when the individual is not doing what you're doing, it's going to take them some time to get up to speed to figure out what you were doing. Therefore, the more detailed you can be up front and the more information you can give them up front, then the faster they can be at getting back to you. And since you know what you're doing, since you know what you were attempting, you're the one in the best position to be able to provide that, to provide that to them. This is also a win-win for them because the more detailed you are at what you're doing, at what the scenario is, at what the process is, they learn from this as well. So the next time this happens, they don't have to get as much information. They don't have to dwell on trying to figure out what you're doing. They're going to know what you're doing because you provided them the appropriate information ahead of time and they understood how you did business because you were thorough in your explanation and you were thorough in your instructions. So just like you require them to be thorough to you when you're training, you should also be the same way back to them when you're reporting a problem or question. So that's tip number one, guys, for leveraging your SAP support team. They need information from you just like you need information from them. So you should put yourself in a position to be successful, to get an answer quickly. And you do that by being as detailed as you can. By list that scenario, list the the instructions that you were, the step-by-step instructions that you were doing. List screenshots. List attachments of documents or a process that you were trying to do. List all those things. Give them as much as you can, and you're going to find out that you're going to get an answer much more quickly. So that's tip number one. Hopefully it was helpful. Look for the second, third, and fourth series where I go over another tip in each one of those videos for how you can best leverage your SAP support team. We will hope this was helpful. Feel free to like, comment, or share, and we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks.